Welcome back to the Grapple Theory podcast. Today we're joined by a very special guest. It's someone who's had a really incredible 2023, picking up loads of championship gold and really sort of making a name for herself on the scene, more so than in previous years. But we'll get into all of that. I'll introduce her now. Delighted to welcome to the show Lucy Sky. Lucy, thank you so much for being here. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good, of course. No, it's a pleasure to have you here. I think it's a really great time to have you on because I want to get you on for a while, but it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. It seems like 2023 was like a real breakout year for you in the ring.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, like, how does that feel in terms of like, can you feel something building, say like January, February 2023? Can you feel like something's happening, or was it only like later in the year when you look back on it that you're like, oh, this has been a really good year?
To be honest, like since I come back from like breaking my arm, the injury that I had, my whole wrestling career just went the complete opposite way to what I thought it would happen. So like I thought, oh, everyone will forget about me, no one will want me back. And then since I came back from my injury, I just like took off, and yeah, it was amazing.
Is that sort of like a what the fuck's happening here kind of thing?
Yeah. I was like, hang on a minute, what's going on?
Especially if you're not expecting it as well, but that must be really validating as well, the fact that like all those sort of negatives you had in your mind were like the complete opposite.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, talk to me about 2023 then, because again, like you say, like I said in my intro, you picked up loads of titles. You had a really good year in the ring, like really improved yourself, I think, in the ring as well as a wrestler. Yeah. Is there one particular moment that like stands out for you where you're like, that was like the crowning moment of the year?
Probably when I won like my first championship at TNT. Like that was my first ever championship that I'd ever won. So yeah, I've been like wrestling nearly 10 years, and that was my first ever belt, and I was like, oh my god, it's happening, I've done it.
How does that feel then, like in that moment when, again, like when you're in the ring, when you lift the belt, like what is that moment like for you, like personally?
It was quite scary, you know, because like I was like, how do I lift a belt? I've never done this before. How do I do this? How do I celebrate this?
Practiced it loads of times. It never happened. Like, do I hold it up? Do I go two hands? What do I do?
I was like, this is a bit more heavier than what I had when I was 4 years old. What do I do with this?
But that's awesome. It's great you finally got one. And then you had like a couple of others like follow really quick after as well.
Yeah, I got the Wrestle Island Women's Championship 2 months after that. So yeah, 2023 was just really good for me.
It's like London buses, isn't it? That's what they say, isn't it? Like you wait years for one and then 2 come along just like that.
Yeah, just wait for the 3rd now.
But that's great as well. Like that's brilliant to see. And like I think as well, somewhere like TNT is like, it's such a staple of like the North, especially like the Northwest in the wrestling scene. I mean, that must have been like a really special moment, not just for it to be your first title, for it to be like TNT, which is like not a hometown promotion for you necessarily, but like somewhere close by that like you can see means a lot to you.
Yeah. Once I won the TNT belt, it was like that was another like step forward for me in wrestling, because like promoters look back at that and think, oh, she's the TNT Women's Champion. Oh, book her.
Yeah. Again, it's like that stepping stone, isn't it? You're like, oh well, if like, because again, like Jay, I think, is someone who we've had people on the show say before, like Jay is someone who, like a lot of other wrestling pros, is like notoriously hard to please, and you know that like if you're over with him, you're doing something right. So like, I think to have that like validation from someone like him, other promoters would be like, oh, like okay, well if Jay backs her, then
100%.
Did he? What did he say to you, like in terms of winning the belt? Like, did he say anything to you in terms of like, you know, that moment of like, oh, we're putting the belt on you?
Well, Jay's been like trying to build me for like 3 years now at TNT. So I debuted in TNT at Siren's Fury. That was against Harley Hudson. And ever from that, I think he's just been trying to build me. And then eventually, like, because it's the first ever TNT Ignition Women's Championship as well. Like, there's not been one before. And then when I found out I was winning, I was like, oh my god, I've made it.
This is the moment.
Yeah.
I love that. And like you say, the Wrestle Island belt, like, you know, followed not long after that. I don't want to say like you're basically the Queen of Liverpool, but you're basically the Queen of Liverpool at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm the champion of both sides of Liverpool, mate. There's only one other person that's done that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like that's esteemed company.
Yeah. Well, Alexis did it first. She was the TNT and Wrestle Island Women's Champion, and then there's me.
Yeah, big shoes to fill though, because Alexis had great runs with both those belts.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Does that like do you feel like that pressure now that you've got the belts in terms of like, oh shit, like I've got to prove that they were right to put the belt on me?
I guess with any championship, like you feel that bit of pressure, because then whoever like comes in to defend you for your belts as well, you have to, especially like if you're retaining your belt, you're like, so I need to step up my game here, and because I know I'm retaining, so I need to be this little bit better.
And you have been. That's the thing is like I feel like it. Like I don't know about you, like in terms of how you feel personally, but like as a fan watching you, it feels like you've stepped up your game and like continued to do that across like the whole year. Would you say like it felt like that for you, like that you were achieving that?
Yeah. Again, like since I come back from my injury, it's been a case of like I took the time that I had out during the injury. I took time for myself. Like I lost 2.5 stone, and everything. Like I just took that time for myself to better myself, and then it's just bettered me in the ring as well.
I was gonna say, like, obviously, congratulations on the weight loss stuff. That's incredible. I mean, like, I saw that post you made on Twitter about that, like a couple of days ago. And like, if you're okay talking about it, I just wanted to ask about that because like that is really amazing, and I wanted to know like, in terms of like from you personally, like what was was there like a specific moment or decision like behind that made you want to do that or like sort of take that journey?
I guess like because I was getting like more bookings then, and like my cardio was just in the ground. I couldn't cope. Like, I couldn't go long. I was knackered after my entrance. I just couldn't do it. So I was like, I need to change something. And then obviously I broke my arm, so that just devastated me. Proper went into like depressed mode. And then I had a few personal problems where I split up with my ex-boyfriend. But a breakup is the best way to go. Any advice I'd give, the breakup.
That's what pushes you forward. That's what like pushes you forward.
Yeah, definitely. The breakup body.
Yeah. Well, congratulations again. Like that is incredible. I mean, like, I think that especially if you feel better in yourself for it, especially like, you know, I mean, like if mentally and personally and physically you feel better in yourself, I think that's the most important thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's the best thing that I ever did, honestly.
That's amazing. Well then definitely, yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. And like, again, you mentioned with the injury, like, I think we've spoken to a lot of wrestlers as well about that sort of like the mental health side of it when you like pick up a big injury or like something happens and like, not just like wrestling wise, but also in your personal life, it sort of sets you back. It gives you that knock, and it can be really tough to like push through that as well. Like, did you have any moments like that where you were like, I mean, I know you mentioned like, oh, like in the ring, like, oh, people aren't going to remember me. This is like going to hinder my career. But like, how deep was that in terms of like, were you feeling like genuinely like that was sort of like not career over, but like almost like a what's the point kind of thing?
Well, when I broke my arm, the hospital actually told me like I'd never wrestle again.
Oh wow!
They told me that my arm would never go straight again, and everything like that. So that like just absolutely devastated me. And I think that's what gave me more of a drive. So then when I started my physio and everything, they gave me like 12 to 18 months that I'd be out for, but I came back within 4 months.
Yeah.
Very stupid of me, but I did.
Basically, John Cena levels of recovery, that.
Well, exactly.
But John Cena isn't the Queen of Liverpool, so, you know, you got one up on him there.
There you go.
Yeah. I wanted to say, like, sort of, like, almost like as a like, sort of a town pride thing. Like, obviously, I know there are people that say Wigan is Manchester. Wigan's not in Manchester, I understand that. But, like, does Wigan, in terms of being sort of like a neighbour to Manchester, have that same animosity to Liverpool that Mancunians do?
I wouldn't say so. I think I think Wigan more has a rivalry with St Helens, to be honest.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm just in my mind, obviously, like I know when like Lizzie Evo won the catch title, and like there's that Liverpool Manchester rivalry that you can really play on. I'm just wondering if it's like a more special feeling having both golds in Liverpool because of any sort of rivalry. But
No, I wouldn't say there is. It depends what sport you follow, I guess.
yeah, sure. What sports are you into?
I like rugby.
Mm,
I've always been brought up around rugby with my dad.
sure.
So like we're gonna have their own rugby team, and they're like rivalries like St Helens.
I was gonna say because
St.
you say St Helens there, and if I'm honest, geographically I'm not really sure where St Helens is, but I know like where the rugby team is, so I know it through that.
Yeah. You don't need to know where St Helens is.
It's not worth knowing. It's not worth knowing. Well, I got to ask you then a key question. I was actually going to ask you this later, but in terms of we're going to keep it on sort of town pride at the minute, because I've heard a lot about this and I need to know it from a reliable source. Like, is the Wigan kebab overhyped, or is it as good as people say it is?
Wigan kebab is something else. If you've not had it, I swear, your life's just not worth living anymore.
It's all been a waste until this point. It's all been a waste.
There's two special traditions in Wigan,
yeah.
And that's a Wigan kebab and a smack burn pea wet.
Yeah. See, I know what you're saying. I understand because I've seen like videos and stuff, but in my mind, it still doesn't sound like words. So Wigan kebab is the pie in a roll, right? And
it's
I mean, we can get into all the different names for rolls, can't we? That's its own separate conversation. We'll get like people from we'll do that one day. We'll have like a podcast where it's like people from all different areas of the country, and we'll just argue for an hour about how what you call a bread roll. but so it's that with a pie inside, right?
Yeah.
Any particular pie?
Normally it's meat and potato pie.
Right, but it could be anything if you wanted. Doesn't have to.
If you want it to be anything, yeah.
Okay, and the pea wet is like it's just peas, right? It's like not mushy
like
peas, but
the
like
juiced off peas.
Oh, but like why not just the peas? Why? Because I've seen it like, and again, it's not like I didn't want to say mushy peas because it's not mushy peas. It's like more liquid than that. But why not just have like mushy peas? But like why?
It's honestly, don't diss it till you've tried it. Honestly.
I mean, I understand liking the pie in a bread roll. Like, I'll be honest, that's appealing to me. As someone who really likes carbs, that is very appealing. Like, I wouldn't knock it. Like, I saw this image online, like, I don't know how much you follow football, but like, I saw this image online of like Oldham Athletic Football Club, and they have like a roll there that's like, it's a chicken balti pie in a roll with a samosa on top.
Oh.
And I'm like, that just seems incredible. Like,
yeah.
That's just, again, it's more carbs on carbs. What's not to like? But it's the pea wet that sort of like, I'm not sure if I can get behind it.
You would if you tried it.
Okay, all right. If I'm ever in Wigan, I'll give it a go.
There you go then.
I appreciate that. It's good to know it's not all just hype. Because like again, some things can be overhyped like that, can't they? And then they underwhelm you. But I'm glad to know it's got your backing.
Yeah. I'll back a Wigan kebab any day.
Is it like elite? Like if you're talking like cultural British food, like would you put it up there with like in the upper echelons at the top?
Oh yeah, definitely in the top 3.
Rival anyone?
Yeah, 100%.
That's good.
I'll take anyone on with a Wigan kebab.
I think we've got to do that as well. We've got to have like these different guests that we have on for this bread roll rivalry, bring in their like signature dish from the area. Yeah. Like have some sort of like cook-off kind of thing. That's the next thing we're booking. It's going to be great. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
Let's do it.
I'm not sure how I got onto that. That was a big tangent. But going back to TNT, obviously you just defended the belt, didn't you, against Session Moth, right?
Yeah.
Obviously great competitor, Session Moth. Like that must be a cool moment as well for like to be getting these sort of like high caliber opponents.
Yeah,
and be beating them. Like that's got to be like again more validation in the fact of like that trust that Jay has in you to carry that belt.
Yeah, 100%.
And you've got a big one next, haven't you? Millie McKenzie.
I do.
April 6th.
Yeah.
Huge match, because we love Millie. Millie's great, but
Yeah.
I assume you're planning on kicking her ass.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What is she in for then? Give us a taste.
Reflection through the floor.
I was gonna say it's the suplex battle, isn't it? You versus
It
Millie.
is.
That's. Are you ready for that? Are you prepared to show why your suplex is better?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I was gonna say it's a big battle because again, like someone like Millie, so like well established in the scene, but again, like I sort of feel hasn't had that huge push up north. So like obviously this is like a sort of a big moment for her, but like for you as well in terms of getting to face her like at TNT.
Yeah.
Are you like? I mean, I don't know. Do you have any words for her if she's watching this? I mean, I'm sure she will be because everyone does. But if Millie McKenzie's watching this, do you have any words for her and what she's in for on April 6th?
Just let the best suplex win.
That's far too kind.
That's all I have.
But yours is the best suplex.
Yeah, 100%.
What makes it more elite than Millie's? Because again, Millie is known for taking people to suplex city. Forget Brock Lesnar, like especially down here, like in the South, Millie's known for that. So like, why is yours so much better?
Mine's. See, I think mine and Millie's suplexes are quite similar, but there's more power behind mine. I think.
I was gonna say you can do that sort of that thing like you did do. I saw you was it Future Shock? I saw you do it to Harley Hudson or something where like you sort of you catch her and like then it starts to like that's like I'm like how does anyone even do that? Like the power needed for that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Millie's in for a treat then if you can do that to her because it's gonna be like
experience one of those ones.
Literally like 15-20 minutes of just trading suplexes back and forth would be. I think that's like match of the like Oku Osprey. What you on about? No, like that's what we want to see.
Sit down.
Know your place. This is what the people want to see.
Exactly.
Love that. No, I love that. I'm sure it'll be a great match. I was gonna say as well in terms of like we talk about like this year. Like obviously we're now by the time this comes out it's nearly the end of February, so we'll be nearly third month into the year. If we were having this conversation like this time next year, is there like anything sort of not necessarily bucket list wise, but like you'd like to achieve in that time, or like if we were looking back on your year next year, what would you say would be like a good year for Lucy Sky?
I want to just continue like making debuts everywhere, and collecting championships. What I seem to do best these days.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're on a roll. Why stop now?
Exactly.
Are we going to get to see you back down in the South anytime soon? Because I know you've had your Eve debut, obviously. But, like, we'd love to see you back down at Eve again or anywhere else. Like, is that sort of, like, part of the hope as well?
Yeah, 100%. I want to come back down there, yeah, 100%.
There are a lot of good matches you could have down here. Like,
yeah.
Again, I feel like there are more and more, like, wrestlers now who are sort of crossing that north-south divide. And I feel like you need to be one of them. I feel like we need to see you more down in London because if I'm honest, I can't going to like Liverpool, Manchester's expensive when you live in London. They don't make it cheap. So like if you can get paid to be down here instead, that'd be a lot easier.
Yeah. But...
Have you got any sort of like specific opponents in mind? People you'd like to face like this year, north or south?
I've faced Nina Samuels once, but I really want to wrestle her again.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed having a match with her, so I'd love to wrestle her again.
I'm not saying that that's a bad choice, but you realise that she like currently is holding like every belt in women's wrestling.
That's what I want to come for.
Yeah.
That's why I want to face her.
Put all the belts on the line.
Yeah.
Just walk out 10 belts.
And then me with my 2.
Yeah. I'm sure she'd put 8 up against 2. I think that's a fair trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got the Eve belt at the minute, right? We need obviously coming up, she's facing Sapphire for it. But if Sapphire doesn't get the job done, Dan, if you're watching, bring Lucy down. Let's get that match going.
Here I am.
Just waiting for it.
You've got me on WhatsApp. Send me a message.
Yeah, Dad, open the WhatsApp. Come on. What are you doing? But go on, who else? Who else would you like to take on?
I think. I used to always wrestle Alexis Falcon. Like anywhere I went, I wrestled Alexis Falcon, and I haven't wrestled her in forever. Like, she's just took off and just left me behind, and
she's a very different Alexis now, isn't she? She's sort of been like a little corrupted by Crowley.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna buy Crowley for taking Alexis off me.
Oh, that is fighting talk. Forget you, Alexis. We want you versus Crowley.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
That's the match I didn't even know I wanted until you said it, and now that's all I want. Like that's got to happen. That match has got to happen. That would be great. That would be so funny as well, because Crowley would just get the shit beaten out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a weird look now for Alexis, isn't it? She's gone very like pervy, like Crowley, very like ooh, a bit like X-rated, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's a bit like like cringy. No, love them. Love Alexis, love Crowley. That'd be great. Love those matches as well. Like if they happen, that'd be fab. But again, like it's weird you mention that, because it sort of like brings like me to something I want to talk about, which is like just the northern scene in general, because it feels like, especially in the last couple of years, the northern scene has taken this like huge rise in terms of both like attendances and like the stars they're bringing in, because like you say, like you used to face Alexis loads, and now it's been a while since you faced her, but that's because like you guys are doing more, like she's doing more, you're doing more, there's new wrestlers as well for you all to face.
Yeah.
So like the scene's growing, and that means you're not just week in, week out facing the same people.
Yeah. There's so many, like, there's so much of a variety to choose from now. Like there's so many wrestlers, like up north especially.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah, it's really grown. Like, can you feel it? Can you feel that like buzz, like as it's grown? Because like again, I'm a little detached from it living in London. So like, can you feel that buzz with the scene, like at the minute up there, like up in the north?
Yeah, I think like every wrestling show there's a different like atmosphere now, because it's so busy, and it's so. I think like obviously with COVID and everything, people like fell out of love for wrestling. But now, like, there's so many things going on, there's so many storylines going on, people are just everywhere. I think it's brought that, like, ultimate buzz back, and, yeah, wrestling's good, really good at the minute. Yeah,
it does seem like at the moment, the North is like, the place to be wrestling-wise, because I feel like, even, like, pre-pandemic, like, TNT were, like, the underground promotion, right? They were the ones that are, like, if you knew the scene well, you knew that TNT, like, was something special. And then, like, post-COVID, they've broken out, and they're, like, one of the like, big boys now, I feel. And then it felt like North was that next underground promotion. Now it feels like North are the ones who are, like, breaking out, and everyone knows them. And, then there's, like, just other, like, Wrestle Island are, like, the next, like, underground promotion out there. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're just bringing out all these promotions that keep just working their way through into, like, the top of like, Brit Rest.
There has to be so many promotions now because there's so many wrestlers.
They're like, how are we going to get everyone on the card? But I think that's good, isn't it? That encourages that competition and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And, like, we haven't spoken enough about your Wrestle Island reign as well. Let's mention that as well, because, again, like, really good reign so far. I'm sure, obviously, you want to carry that on this year. But, again, there's, like, Liverpool scene, there's a lot of good competitors up there. There's a lot of people vying for that belt.
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to have to do in order to take it off you? Like, how? Like, they're going to have to do something special, right?
Oh, 100%. 100%. To get that Wrestle Island belt, I went through hell with Tyler Adams. But yeah, there'll have to be something special.
Yeah.
Something bigger.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing who that's going to be and when it's going to be. That'll be something good. That'll be something good. But again, I mean, we mentioned the Wigan kebab. I've got to ask you about the other stuff of legends, Ioda, and that's the Wrestle Island sausage roll. Can you attest to that? Have you had one of those?
You know, I've never had one.
Never had one?
I've never had one.
But you're the champion.
No.
What? That's outrageous.
I've never had one.
How can you be the champion and have never had one? That's unbelievable.
People rate about all these sausage rolls, and I just never get time to have one. I think, as well, they sell out that quick. By the time I've gone to get one, they're gone. Nah,
you're the champ. You got to get in there early. You got the belt. You don't even need to queue. You got the belt. You're like, excuse me, champ, coming through.
Yeah, I've never had one.
Do they know? Do the guys know? Do the promoters know at Wrestle Island? Because if they... if they knew, I don't know if they'd put the belt on you. I think that's how. I feel like it's a rite of passage, right? You've got to have the sausage roll to get the belt.
Well, now that they know, if they're watching this, that they know that I've never had one, I better have one waiting for me at the next show.
Bring it out early doors. Make sure, nice and fresh.
I'll eat it on my entrance next time.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Like beat the shit out of someone after just eating a sausage roll as well. Like you come out, munch.
The power of the sausage roll.
I tell you what, that would hype them up even more, wouldn't it? Like, because if you ate that and then like were like even better somehow in the ring, people would be like, "Oh my god, what's in this sausage roll?"
I can guarantee, if I ate one of them sausage rolls before I wrestled, there'd be no chance. I'd be KO'd. I can't eat before I wrestle. I just can't do it.
No, I think that's wise, to be fair. I think that's smart, right? Like, you don't want to be like, especially like something like a sausage roll, like a little greasy, a little heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to be full of sausage roll when you're going to wrestle. I think that's a wise call. But again, now you know, as sort of like you got like that out, don't you now? Like if you need to drop the belt, like you just have a sausage roll beforehand. And you're like, oh, you only beat me because I had a sausage roll before.
Yeah, storyline right there.
Yeah. Then you build Lucy versus the sausage rolls.
Yeah.
It's the new ultimate rivalry in Wrestle Island. Well, I mean, we know Wrestle Island, like their wacky booking, right? If they don't book that now, I'm going to be quite offended. I feel like we've just booked.
Believe me, if Peter Blackham gets hold of this, that'll be my next match.
I feel like we've just sold it. This is a great storyline, great running storyline right here. You can't defeat the sausage roll. Brilliant, amazing. Well, we got a couple of fun features here on the podcast. I want to get into one of them now because, again, like we mentioned, you're the Queen of Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the Queen of Liverpool, I'm sure that you know all about what happens in the locker rooms at TNT and Wrestle Island. So, that brings us on nicely to this feature, which is called Dishing the Dirt. And I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to sort of specifically about the locker rooms at TNT and Wrestle Island, again as the Queen of Liverpool. Let me know which wrestler from the locker room applies to which question.
Right, okay.
So the first one is who's always running late?
Lizzie Evo.
Really?
Yeah.
But she's just round the corner, right? Lizzie, what are you doing?
Lizzie is always last minute.
How? Lizzie, you're right there in the city. Maybe that's the thing, to be fair, because like when I was at primary school, there was a girl in my class who lived literally, like not even over-exaggerated, literally right across the road from the school and was always late. So maybe it's just a thing where like she's so local that she's like, oh, I don't need to leave that early.
I think that's true. The closer you are, the later you are.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I don't need to leave early, it's fine, and then you leave late.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Lizzie, you got to sort it out. What are you doing? It's a bad example. Bad name for the people in Liverpool being late. You're setting a bad example. The next one is this can be from outside the locker room in terms of like if you like carpool with anyone to shows or anything. But like, who has the worst music taste?
I'm gonna say Dan Evans.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does he listen to?
Just absolute chaos. Like, I've travelled to some shows with him when I used to wrestle down in Coventry, and for like 3 hours I had to listen to Dan Evans' playlist.
What is it? What are we talking?
I can't even name you a song that was on the post because I don't even know them. But it was just chaos.
What sort of music was it though? Like, what are we talking like?
I think it's like, I don't know, like rock or just music like that. It just sends my head west. I can't listen to rock. I can't listen to like where they're screaming. It just sends my head.
Oh, okay, like heavy stuff.
Yeah, I just can't do it. Can't listen to it.
Well, we'll get to know more about your music taste in our second features. I look forward to seeing what that is now. But the next one is who's the comedian of the locker room? Who can you always count on to make you laugh the most?
There's quite a few.
Yeah, you got a few comedians up there.
Yeah. Lizzie Evers, one of them.
Lizzie
There's
again.
never a dull moment
Yeah.
when, honest to God, like when me, Lizzie Ever, Rio, and Alexis is in a locker room, there's just never a dull moment. We're gonna honestly all apply to be on Gogglebox. I think would be great.
I'll tell you what, that as a quartet on Gogglebox, like especially like outside the locker room setting, like just on sofas watching TV. Oh my God, yes. Yeah,
we all spent New Year's Eve together in Alexis's house, and it was just the most funniest night ever. We seen this thing on TikTok where you had to eat 12 grapes underneath a table at midnight. So that's what we did.
Okay, that doesn't sound that wild in my head, but I feel like you're over. Like.
So you had to eat these 12 grapes in 60 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And each grape represented a month of the year.
Right.
And like what you wish to happen that month. So there's just a video on Alexis's phone of us four just absolutely scranning grapes.
Just downing grapes. Most people at midnight, New Year's Eve, champagne, down it, another drink, that's fine. You guys, just grapes. Just
grapes underneath the table.
Wild. Gotta check that out. If I'll message Alexis. If she doesn't mind, I'll put the video here now. Insert. But
there's a photo as well. Get her to send you the photo.
Okay, all right. I will. I'll message her. Amazing. The next one is either like for their match or like getting ready to leave. Who takes the longest to get ready?
Oh, probably Alexis.
Yeah.
Probably Alexis. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of intricacy that goes into her like her gear and stuff and her like makeup and stuff as well. Though, so that sort of makes sense.
And all that, the eye contact lenses, everything like that.
Yeah, she's got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
That's fair. The next one is the next one's who brings like the best food to the locker room, like the best snacks or like pre-show meal or something where you look at it and you're like, oh, that looks really good. Do you get a lot of food in the locker room?
To be honest, no. Unless you go out to get your food. Probably not.
No.
Harley Hudson brings snacks.
Does she? What does she bring?
Yeah. She brings like milk chocolate buttons and stuff like that.
Oh, Harley, yes.
Yeah, Harley does bring good snacks.
That's a shout, yeah. But does she share them? Or is it just like you're sitting there jealous?
Yeah, she shares them.
Alright, as long as she shares, that's fine. That's fine. The next one is the next one's like I would say the one that could potentially get you in the most trouble. But again, it's all subjective, right? All of these are pretty subjective. So we're not talking in the ring now. We're talking out of the ring. Who has the worst dress sense?
Oh. Oh God, I don't know.
Does no one turn up like for the show, like just wearing something, and you're like, "What is that?"
I mean, there is, but I don't want to get myself cancelled.
Oh, you got to tell us now.
I don't think I've ever witnessed anyone like come in and I've gone, oh, what they're wearing. I mean, there's people who wear stuff like what I wouldn't wear.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like that's like worse in your mind, right? Like because it's the opposite for you.
Yeah.
Who would that be then?
I know Alexis kind of like got online bullied for wearing a green tracksuit and orange Crocs.
Oh yeah, like the Crocs. The Crocs for Alexis are like outrageous.
But now everyone wears Crocs.
I know. She started something horrible in the scene that.
Everyone now wears Crocs.
Bad influence on the scene with the Crocs. Can't do it. I can't. No, I wore them once. Like tried them on once. I was like, nope, not happening. Never again.
I have Crocs, but I only wear them for work.
See, I feel like again, I feel like it's a let off because again, like you said, like when we spoke off screen about like what you do for a job and stuff, that makes sense. You want like a comfortable shoe and stuff.
Yeah.
but I still don't know if I can allow it because I just think the look is ridiculous. And that's coming from someone who like has worn like Converse and band t-shirts since they were 13. So I'm in no position to judge, but yet I am.
They're really comfy, you know. I have the Crocs that have got the fluff on the inside as well.
I feel like, who did we have on? We had Bo Bells on, and she was like, oh yeah, at first I was skeptical, and then I tried them, and I was like, oh my god. And I feel like it's that thing where you're like really skeptical about them until you wear them, and then you're like, it's like a sort of like enlightenment kind of thing. No.
Oh, look, I do love my Crocs now, to be honest.
Oh, no, could never be me. Could never be me. The next one is the next one's like on the nicer side of that, because we're talking about sort of like so let's say you've forgotten your gear for a show, and it's one size fits all in the locker room. We're not talking about just the women now. It's like the whole locker room. You can choose whoever you want. You've got to pick someone's gear to wear for the show. Whose gear do you look at and you're like, I could pull that off?
Oh. Definitely not Harley Hudson.
No?
Definitely not hers. I couldn't pull that off.
No?
No. I'd look hideous.
Oh, no. I don't think so. No. I think you'd be too hard on yourself. I feel like Harley's is very Harley, though. I feel like everyone would look ridiculous apart from Harley. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, apart from her.
Because she's just way too stacked.
Yeah.
Like, she's the only person in the locker room that's stacked enough.
She's the only one that could wear that gear.
Yeah, she's the only one stacked enough to be able to pull that gear off. Like, so I think you're being unfair on yourself. I don't think that's just you. I think that's just a general locker room problem that no one else could wear that.
Yeah, maybe. I'd probably go for Rio's.
Nice.
Rio has nice gear.
Rio has some pretty sick gear. It's like super intimidating as well. Like really matches the look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good shout. The next one I always say is like a little counterproductive to ask a wrestling locker room. And you might know this. This might go back to New Year's Eve with Alexis and Lizzie. But like, who's the most competitive?
Competitive in what way?
Doesn't matter what. Anyway, like in the ring, out the ring, playing video games. Like, I'm gonna beat you to the venue this week. Like whatever kind of competitive.
Yeah, probably Alexis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always got to win.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, somehow that doesn't surprise me. I can see that. I don't
know if Crowley's like rubbed off on her, but yeah.
Well, judging by some of those promos, I think they've done a lot worse than that, to be honest.
Let's not go into that.
We won't go into that. That's another podcast. That's something else. Oh no! Again, the shiver. No. The next one is come on, Crowley, Alexis, sort it out. Twitter's a like family friendly site, sort of, maybe. I don't know. Is it? I think it is. And all those promos are just outrageously obscene.
Hideous.
Just
disgusting.
The latest one. Have you seen the latest one where Alexis is like in the bathroom?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, that was so bad. It's like nausea inducing.
Oh, to knock me sick.
Do love them though. I don't know where they come up with that shit, but it's brilliant but horrifying. They could make a great horror film. Tell you what.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Scar people for life. The next one's like everyone in the locker room is throwing a party on the same night, and they've all invited you, but of course you can only go to one party. Whose party do you go to? Who's the one you need to be at?
I'm gonna go Session Moth.
Yeah, that's it there. That's the obvious shout, isn't it? Yeah. You've got to go to Moth party. Like I can't remember who we had on. Someone else said her recently, and it's like Moth doesn't throw the party just finds her.
Yeah.
So like as long as you're around her, the party will be there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I like that.
I've had some messy nights with Session Moth.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got to ask about this. Go on.
Oh, when was the last one? It was after Was it after the GCW weekend with TNT?
Oh, I don't even want to know about that then. Oh my god.
Oh,
a messy
that was
night
massive.
after a GCW weekend. My god.
Yeah. But to be honest, right, the most messiest night that I have ever had was with Che Monet.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh my god.
What? We've had Shay on the podcast. I know.
I threw up on Che Monet in a taxi.
Sorry, what?
I threw up on him.
What was the lead up to this? I mean, I'm sure alcohol was involved, but like, what was the lead up to this?
It was a disaster. I have never been in that state in my whole entire life. So it was after one of the TNT shows, and we all went out in Liverpool. And I swore like to Jay, to Shay, I swore to everyone that I'd been sparked because I can handle my alcohol, but this one night I was just a write-off. I face planted the floor outside of Pop World, cut all my knees and everything, and then we got into a taxi. And I remember Jay was trying to feed me chicken nuggets, and he was like, just eat these. And I'm like, listen, if I eat when I'm drunk, I'm going to throw up. So just stop feeding me chicken nuggets. And then I was like, tell the taxi to pull over. Tell him to pull over now. And he was like, no, you'll be fine. I'm like, no, tell him to pull over. So anyway, I was sick. I caught it in my hands, and I'm just in the taxi like this, with sick in my hands. It went all over Che Monet's shoe. And then the taxi then pulled over. I just chucked my sick outside. And yeah, I woke up that following morning at 9 o'clock on the bathroom floor.
Well, this is wild, because we've had Shay on the podcast, and he did not mention this.
It was the wildest night ever.
That is incredible. I love that. And it's a good thing Che Monet wasn't wearing Crocs, right? Because
it is a very good job he wasn't wearing
that's the downfall of the Crocs, see? Someone voms in your shoes, it goes all in your socks if you're wearing Crocs.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, amazing. Well, I cannot wait to talk to Che Monet about this. That's incredible. I love that. Well, that brings us on to the last question of this feature. Brings us on nicely, I'd say. So this last question is, it's my favourite of the list. It's, who would you want to be your partner in the zombie apocalypse?
Oh. I'm going to go with Emerson Jane.
Oh, powerhouse. Yeah.
I think me and her would be a great team in the zombie
apocalypse.
My
god, yeah. Like, the power overall, like, for both of you as well. Like, that's the first thing. Also, Emerson Jane, of course, Queen of the Deathmatch.
She can take all the stuff off the zombies. Because I'm not going to do that. She's used to that.
I was going to say, you just sort of like feed her to the wolves kind of deal. Just be like, yeah, you go. I'll be back here. It's fine. You see, she comes back, the blood pouring down her face. Like, well done, pal. Good one.
Yeah.
That's a wise choice, I think. Yeah. Emerson is brutal, so I think that's a great choice. Bro, that brings that segment to a close nicely. We've got another one to end the podcast, but before that, I just want to ask you, because we've got like recording in a couple of days, but by the time it goes out, it'll be next week. So next week is, of course, International Women's Day, and we're doing like a special podcast for it. But I want to get you on your thoughts on like just the women's wrestling scene in general. I know it's like a vague, big thing, but like as someone who's been wrestling, like you say, for a decade, I just wanted to know like whether you've seen that change in women's wrestling, in like the way it's treated by both promoters and the fans, and like your sort of views on, I guess, if there's still more that needs to be done in terms of like getting more equality for women in wrestling, especially like in the British wrestling scene. Like, have you seen that change over like that last decade of how women have been treated in wrestling?
Yeah, there's been like a huge change, like I would say, because like obviously on your regular match cards now you still only have the women's match, but like now there's so many all women shows, which I love that. I love that there's just that one promotion who just like targets the women and showcases the women. I think that's what like makes women wanna wrestle, to be honest. Like, because imagine now us all trying to fight for that one spot on that card. But like now you've got like these promotions who do all women. There's so much more like space for women now.
Yeah, like you say, there's still promotions, aren't there, that only do like one women's match, which is mental. But like there are a lot more promotions, like you say, like all women's. Like obviously we've got Eve down here. Siren's Fury is like relatively new, but like doing a great job up north as well. But also like just in general, it feels like more cards are having just more than like a token women's match now, and like actually like pushing women to a place they deserve to be.
Yeah, and I think as well, even if you've only got like the one women's match, there's so many people now putting like women in scramble matches, and stuff like that. So there's more opportunities now for women than what there was.
For sure. Like in terms of like when you started wrestling, was there like, because I feel like a decade ago there probably wasn't not just the amount of women in matches, but just like the amount of women's wrestlers like a decade ago in terms of who were actually coming through, and like we've had people on the podcast talk about before, like when they were coming through, there's just like there wasn't that many women to learn from or actually like get that experience from, which obviously like has hindered the scene for so long.
Yeah, so like when I first started again, there wasn't many people that I could learn from, but like even to this day now, like I'm wrestling more experienced people than me that are making me better. So I think having someone there who knows a bit more than you, who you know can structure a match better than you and stuff like that. That's how you're gonna learn.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically, like one of my favourite matches from last year was my match at Cold Day in Hell at TNT with Lizzie Evo. Like I've learned so much from Lizzie. Like honestly, I couldn't recommend her enough. She's been like when I first started wrestling, Lizzie had just left the training school that I started. So like I've known Lizzie for like all of my wrestling career. But yeah, like now I train under Lizzie as well. And just having that someone who knows the ins and outs of wrestling, who literally knows everything about wrestling, is like even from that one match I had with her, I learned so much from that match.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She's a star, isn't she? She's gonna like I don't know why she's not bigger than she already is.
100%.
Like she's gonna be huge. I can feel it. Like she's
100%,
she's got that something, hasn't she?
Yeah.
And I feel like again, this is not dissing the people of Liverpool, but I feel like the intimidation in that Scouse accent when she's shouting at you is like proper amazing, like top heel work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like scared shitless is the best way I can put it. Do you know what I mean? No, big up Lizzie. She's fantastic. She really is, and that's great to hear as well. That like, again, you feel like there's that change, because I feel like, again, it feels like there is like again those promotions that still have like maybe one women's match or no women's matches on the card. Like there's still work to be done, but it feels like positive steps are being made.
It's like nowadays you're not having to feel like you have to fight for a position.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like there's always something out there for everyone.
For sure. I was gonna say like as well in terms of like potentially any like negative, and of course feel free to be as open or as not open as you feel comfortable being, but like you know that like AEW TikTok that was like we're women's wrestlers and this you see that one? Like I mean have like is that a sort of is that a general experience of being a women's wrestler? Like do you honestly get like those sort of like comments? And like because again I like as a not women's wrestler I wouldn't know, but like is that something you've experienced?
I've not experienced it personally myself, but it is a very much true.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's like upsetting to hear. I don't like that. That's like, I don't know. It just seems really crass. I'm not sure why it's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much positive about it. But I don't know why, like why people reduce it to certain like things like looks or like ability. Like it can only be men and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just it's a weird one.
When I first ever started wrestling training, I was only 14, and like I got bullied in high school. There was like, "What you doing a man's sport for?" and everything like that. But look where I am now.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't dare say that to your face now, would they? That's the thing. Like you would beat the shit out of them. Oh, man sport is it? Suplex.
Yeah.
No, well, I'm glad to know that, like, obviously it's paid off for you, and that, like, sorry to all the women who have gone through that, because it is bullshit. But, like, hopefully there's change happening. Hopefully, like, it feels like there's change. But there are always going to be those people.
There is a massive change already, yeah.
Yeah, there's always going to be those people that are dicks, aren't they? You just got to, like, block them out, I guess, which is bad. You shouldn't have to, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Well, we'll end the podcast on a positive note, because it's our final feature, and we've gotten to know your views on some of the locker room. But now we're going to get to know about you. This isn't about Lucy Sky, though. This is about you as a shoot. This is about, like, you as a person. Okay. So again, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you let me know what comes to mind.
Okay.
So the first one is what is your favourite post pinfall pig out?
What's that?
Your favourite post pinfall pig out, like you're driving home from a show cheat meal, kind of like.
Oh right.
Yeah, like how you're gonna reward yourself after the show, kind of thing.
I love a Chinese.
Nice.
Love a Chinese.
That's a good shout. What do you get?
My go-to is Singapore fried rice, chips and curry sauce.
Oh, nice. Yes, that's a great shout. Love that. Those that was a TikTok thing as well, wasn't it? Like Americans reacting to like British Chinese food.
Yeah.
That was wild. Because the thing is, if I'm honest, the Americans have a point. Like, I don't know why we're having chips with Chinese and stuff like that. But, like, it's not Chinese food, but it's so good.
I think Chinese chips are completely different though.
Oh yeah.
Like chips.
Yeah, it's a whole different level of chip.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a proper chip. It's literally just there to soak up like the curry sauce or like whatever sauce you have with it, right?
Yeah.
No, I love that. The next one is again it's food related. They're not all food related, I promise, but this next one is it's the classic. What is your like death row last meal?
Oh, I'm gonna go steak, chips, onion rings, peas and peppercorn sauce.
Nice, classic. Yeah, I love that. I like the key question is how do you have your steak cooked?
Oh, well done.
Oh no!
If there's blood on that plate.
Lucy, no, not well done. Not well done. Oh.
That very well done. I cannot have no blood.
Oh.
There is no chance. If that comes with blood on it, guaranteed it's still mooing. So, no, I'm not having it.
Well, you join a very special list of wrestlers on the podcast who have revealed that they have their steak well done, which includes Anita Vaughan and Joe Lando. So, well, I mean, look at that trio's team right there.
To them.
Team well done.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What a list to be part of. What a list. No, I'm sorry, I can't be doing that. But
how
like,
do you have yours?
I like it medium. Like I don't, like you say, I don't like blood, but I like it to be a little pink.
Oh God, no.
No, I don't want any blood on the plate, but like a little pink, just because it's like softer. It's just like, well done. It goes dry way too quick.
No, that's why you have peppercorn sauce.
Yeah, but you can have peppercorn sauce either way.
No, it's wrong.
Only with well done.
No.
Fair enough.
You wouldn't have your chicken pink, would you?
No, but that's different. You get like violently ill if you had your chicken.
It's not different.
It is. It's a little.
It means it's not cooked.
Nah, it's a little different. It's a little different because like you would be violently ill if you ate pink chicken. So it's a little different.
I'm not having it.
Well, I can see there's no convincing you, so I'll say we'll agree to disagree. The next one. There we go. This is going back to the what you said earlier about the music. It's the song that gets you the most hyped.
Oh, see, I love like you've probably never even heard of him, but like Andy Whitby.
No,
I'm obsessed with like proper house music.
Oh, okay. No, house music is not my thing.
Like rave music.
Oh, that explains why I've not heard of it. No, house music is not my thing. That's if I'm honest, my thing is the music you insulted earlier in the show. So that's very different.
Oh well, you can go on a trip with Dan Evans.
I will, Dan. Hit me up. Let's go for a ride together. It'd be great. We can badmouth Lucy the whole time. Yeah, no, I'm into like the heavy metal, like screamo, like.
God, no.
Yeah, that's my.
I couldn't. Like TNT did the TNT music.
Yeah.
And all that was heavy metal, and I'm sat there just questioning my life, thinking, what am I doing?
But that's the thing, though, isn't it? Like, even if you grow up like watching like WWE and stuff, like rock music and heavy music just lends itself to wrestling. Like basically everyone's theme is like a heavy-ish song.
Yeah, it is, but it just sends my head really scatter. I just can't.
Every show, someone's entrance is playing. You're like, no, not again.
Yeah, I need ear defenders at wrestling shows. I do.
Not a fan of it.
No, not at all.
What about like? Have you heard like Mark Andrews' band? You know them, Junior. That's not like it's not quite heavy. It's like rock, but it's like pop. It's like pop punk.
No, I've not heard.
You got to check them out. See if that's like too heavy. I can't imagine that'd be too heavy. But it's like pop rock music.
I think that'd be okay as long as it's like not the screaming and stuff. I can't.
The anger. But that's fine because like the house music is what like that's what it does to my head. Like you say for the head music, I'm like sat there like no, come on. Like
we couldn't ever go to a party together.
No, I don't think it would work. To be honest, we probably wouldn't go to the same sort of gigs and stuff. It's like I don't know. It's not destined to be, is it? I'm sorry. That was the only goal when we started the podcast was for us to be friends and go to gigs together. But that ship sailed now. It's long gone.
Gone away.
Brilliant. Well. Let's see if we can agree on movies then, because the next one is the movie that you chose the locker room.
Oh, probably Wolf of Wall Street.
That's a good film. Yeah.
I love that film.
Yeah, that's a really good film. See, like I can appreciate it's a good film, but I'm not adult enough to enjoy that film because like I can't do like serious films. I need like shit silly films because like anything that's too real is like too intense for me. I'm like no. Like life is intense enough as it is. I need something that's the least intense thing possible.
I have a proper bad soft spot for like romance films.
Yeah.
I love romance films. I don't know why.
I think enough people do to know that that's not like a bad thing necessarily.
I could only watch it on my own though. I'd feel a bit awkward watching one.
Are you a crier at them though?
No.
Oh, that's like
I don't cry really.
No.
No.
Not even at the end of Wolf of Wall Street.
No.
No, that's fair though. I think like rom-coms have their place, don't they? Just generally. See, like I can't do good films. I need the films that are like really bad but are so funny because they're bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like those films.
Like stuff like, what was it? Like me and my partner the other night watched like Wayne's World for like the 20th time. And like just stuff like that where it's just written in the most silly manner and you know it's not serious.
Yeah.
Like that's the sort of stuff I like. Because I can't, if a film's too serious, I'm like, no, it stresses me out. Like it's exciting. I like the anticipation of like, oh, what's going to happen? But also I'm like, I don't want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Can't we all just get along? Which is weird because it's odd that I like the intensity of wrestling, but you know.
Yeah.
The next one's a bit of a throwback because it's your first job.
My first job?
Mm-hmm.
My first job was an apprenticeship in a nursery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Why?
So I was doing childcare in college.
Right.
And then I dropped out of college because I couldn't be arsed with the assignments. Just wasn't my thing. So then I went to work in an apprenticeship in a nursery. And I was in with like the 2-year-olds. And my first day I got bit like right under the arm, the sensitive skin of your arm. This kid bit me and I was like, are you joking?
And right then that was the passion instilled to you to become a wrestler.
Yeah. And I was just like, this isn't for me. I can't deal with this.
It validates the fact of like the dropping out of college and the childcare course. Because
Yeah.
you're like, I was right to do that because clearly this isn't for me.
Yeah. I was right in the beginning.
Yeah.
I should have carries on with it whatsoever.
How old were you at that point? What, like 16 or something?
Yeah, I was 16.
I mean, that again, that's like the moment in your head you're like, I should have just got the typical 16-year-old job at like McDonald's or something.
Yeah. Well, actually, here's a fun story for you. I got refused from working in McDonald's.
What?
I swear down. I got refused because there was like, we've had a look at your grades and you're too overqualified.
To be fair...
You'd be overqualified to work in McDonald's.
No, to be fair, so like, again... It's weird because it sounds like oddly braggy when you say that. Do you know what I mean? But like, like I got that. I've had the same, not with McDonald's, but with like Tesco, where like I was like just finished doing like my journalism degree and stuff, and I was looking for work while I found like a journalism job, and then like so I was applying like just literally everywhere, and they were like, oh no, you're too overqualified because like they want you to be there forever. Do you know what I mean? They want you with no qualifications, so you're going to be there forever. So I changed my CV. And put like nothing on it. And then I got an interview because they're like, oh, this guy's got nothing going for it.
Oh my god.
So like, yeah, I understand the overqualified thing, but it still hurts, doesn't it?
It
like,
did?
It hurts in a whole other way, which is really weird.
Yeah. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's outrageous.
Why can't I go flip a burger?
Although I'm gonna say, like, you must have like absolutely nailed your exams if you're like at like 16 still too overqualified.
Oh, well, I did. I did in English and maths and science, but I also did geography. I failed that.
Well, I don't know if it's failed. I got a D. I think they count it as a pass, but I don't count it as a pass.
Well, I got an E.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Buddies, both under the C grade. Well, at least we have that in common. At least we have that in common. Forget about the music.
Yeah, forget the music.
Amazing. The next one is the only time we really get a little deep on the podcast here because it's your greatest fear.
Our greatest fear. It's gonna go really deep. But it'll probably be like losing another child.
Wow.
I had a miscarriage in 2017.
I'm
I
sorry.
was still really young. But yeah, that'd probably be my worst fear.
I'm sorry, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
Bye.
But I understand that. I get that. Like,
yeah,
that makes sense to fear. Well, like, yeah, fingers crossed not.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, no, sure. But no, I appreciate that. That's like, yeah.
But why on earth I went from working in a nursery to then getting...
I was going to say, that's like... I was going to say, yeah, then the childcare thing comes back into it. Like, I thought I got rid of this. No!
I left that for a reason.
Yeah. That's right, someone else can do that, right? That's what like, people in childcare are for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, that's not much, it's not me, it's fine.
And now I've just gone to the other end of the stick and look after the elderly.
From one end right to the... And it's very much the same thing, I imagine, as well.
It is the same.
So there's a lot of changing and looking after it.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Lovely. Well, back on the more positive. The next one is your favourite animal.
Probably a dog.
Nice. Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any particular type or like just all?
Well, like my mum's dog was a border collie cross with a Labrador.
Nice.
It was really cute.
Very fluffy, I imagine.
Yeah. It was real funny though because like they class them dogs as like sheep dogs.
Yeah.
So like at Christmas time at my mum's, like I have such a massive family. I'm one of 7. And I've got like 21 nieces and nephews.
Oh my god.
Family is just huge.
Hark.
So then at Christmas time, when we're all at my mum's, the dog's running around trying to keep us all still and everything. Like keep us in one
just
place.
herd you in, yeah. Your mum like sends her in like, oh, it's time for dinner. It just comes in herding you all into like the dining.
Round up.
Yeah. Amazing. I tell you what, that much family, any promoter would love you if you can guarantee them what was that, like 30 extra sales.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, I'm bringing the family along. Oh, what is it, like 5 tickets? How about 30 tickets? They're like, hell yeah, come on. Then you got a huge cheering section as well. The intimidation there from the crowd would be incredible. Like your opponent walks...
when I won the TNT championship, like most of my family came, and then obviously people from work came as well. So there was just this one massive section on the balcony.
I was gonna say, no wonder the pop was so big.
Exactly. But let's not tell no one that.
Sure, get that quiet. This gets cut. Yeah. No one knows. It was just like the 30 most hardcore Lucy Sky fans you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're all the fans, I promise.
I'll tell you what, bring them April 6th against Millie McKenzie. Millie will not stand a chance. Those suplexes are not even going to get near you. Love it. The next one's the only wrestling one on the list. It's your favourite match stipulation.
Hardcore.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. DOA next year? TNT?
Well, I'm working on it.
Yeah. Hell yeah, we'd love to see that. Yeah, you need to see like another woman take the crown off Emerson now. It's got to be all Queens of Death matches from now on.
Like, that is one of my dreams, is a death match. I only want to do one, just to say I've done it.
But against who against though? There's a huge amount of deathmatch competitors, not just in the UK. Like if you only want one death match and you got to pick one opponent, who's it going to be?
I've always said Emerson James.
Yeah. Like,
I know she'd look after me as well. Like, I'd obviously want someone who's experienced because I'm not. So I'd want someone who's experienced.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's weird. Like, I understand what you mean. Like, again, obviously, like knowing the business and stuff. Like, I understand what you mean by looking after. But when you step back and think about it, saying looking after in a deathmatch scenario when you're going to have like blood running down your face sounds like a really weird thing to say.
Yeah, it is hard to look after someone in a deathmatch, but I'd put trust in her.
Yeah. It's alright, I'll look after you. You come back, blood all down your face. I told you I'd look after you. You're fine.
I'll take you to the hospital. Yeah. I'll look after you.
Amazing. Well, yeah, Jay, come on. What are you waiting for? Lucy versus Emerson. We got to see this. We got to see it. Yeah, would love that. There's only a couple left. The next one's your favourite place in the world.
Oh, Turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, love Turkey.
Yeah. Is that like a regular place for you, or like?
We've been on a few family holidays there. It's just a really nice place. The only downfall Turkey has is the food, because like they don't eat pig, so like you've no sausage, you've no bacon. We went to an all-inclusive holiday, and I lived in the kids' corner where there was chicken nuggets and chips. That's where I spent most of my time.
I'm not gonna lie. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but the chicken nuggets, the well-done steak, like I'm getting the impression you might be a fussy eater.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fussy eater.
The chips with the Chinese, it's all leaning towards fussy eater.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. If I don't like, I always say I don't like fish. I've never actually tried fish.
What?
But because I don't like the look of it, the taste, the smell of it.
But like, you tried like fish fingers though, right?
No.
What?
Never. No. I won't. I won't try them.
Not any type of fish?
No, none.
Not
tried tuna, not tried anything.
This is mind-blowing.
I won't because of the smell of it and the look of it. I just can't, and I know where it comes from.
What, the sea?
Well, yeah, but it's just a weird thing that I have in my head. Like, I eat chicken and I eat stuff like that, and I know where they come from, obviously, but no, I can't with fish.
Oh, that's so bizarre.
Can't.
I can't believe you've not even tried it.
No, never.
Would you? Is
No.
it like a strict thing now where you're like, no chance?
No, I'd rather starve to death.
You'd rather starve to death?
Yeah.
Would you rather... What if like... I'm gonna go hardcore now. I'm gonna really call your bluff on this. What if like someone offered you the main event at WrestleMania?
To try fish?
Yeah. You just gotta try like a tuna sandwich. Like 3 bites of a tuna sandwich for a main event at WrestleMania.
My mouth is watering. Like you're gonna make me throw up.
That bad?
Yeah.
Is that a no? Are you turning down the Mania main event spot?
I think I'd have to. Put me on first.
No. Oh, that's the compromise. Yeah, just put me on first. It's fine. All right, I won't have the main event. You can put me on first. Wow, that's a bad. Yeah, that's.
I just can't do it.
That okay? Fair. I won't labour the point anymore because that's bad. If you're going to be willing to go that far, that's yeah, no, fair. I think you don't like fish. I'll say that. Yeah, I'll give you that one. And the last, I don't know how we got to fish from that. Oh yeah, because the no pork thing. I was like, how did we get to fish from Turkey? So bizarre. Okay. Well, the last one is like the opposite of that. It's your dream holiday destination.
Oh, probably the Maldives.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm getting the sense as well you like the warmer holidays.
On the sea.
Yeah. I'm getting the sense as well you like the warm holidays.
Yeah. Don't take me nowhere cold because that's on a holiday. I may as well just stay here in England.
Are you like a... Yeah, I was going to say exactly. Yeah, you might as well just be here.
No point.
Just compare everywhere to England in the winter.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, I was going to say what's your like holiday like... Not itinerary, but you know what I mean? Like, are you an adventurer or are you like a chill on the beach kind of person?
A bit of both. I'd say like the perfect holiday is like where you go for like 10 days, you have a few trips out, they're your adventure days, but then you also need your chill days.
Nice.
Your nice chill days on the beach.
Nice. Like it. Well, that brings us nicely to near the end of the podcast. There's only a couple of questions I've got for you left. One is from me. The other one is not from me because it's our closing segment where we get our last guest to leave a question for our next guest. So this question has been left by our last guest. I'm not meant to tell you who it is, but they've put their name right in it. So I'm going to omit that bit. So you'll understand who our last guest was when you see this because your question is, who is your dream match? And why is it Endakara?
Who is my dream match?
Yeah. And why is it Endakara? Because Endakara is everyone's dream match, according to Endakara.
Oh, okay. Well, they're not my dream match. Sorry.
Shock! Gonna send this to him as well. He's gonna be fuming.
My dream match would be Natalia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good
choice.
choice.
Watch her like growing up, and I try and like base some of my stuff off her as well. Yeah.
That's a great choice because Natalia, like you say, is like one of those ones that like I feel like so many like people learn from, but like is consistently just mega underappreciated for the work she's done 100%. For the scene.
Yeah.
Like she's incredible. That would be a great match. Would love to see that. Would love to see that. Yeah, seeing Natty get taken to Suplex City. Yes, in for it. Amazing. Well, that brings the podcast to a close nicely. Lucy Sky, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've had fun.
I have. Thank you for having me.
Of course. It's been a pleasure having you here. It's been great to see all the stuff you've done over the last 12 months. Genuinely so proud of you and so impressed by like how far you've come. It's been really, really great to see.
Thank you.
But we always end our podcast by giving our guest one final bit of promo time. So for anyone up in Liverpool at TNT or at Wrestle Island or anywhere else in the country or back down south when you come back to Eve inevitably, of course, Dan, get it booked. Come on. If someone sees you on a match poster on social media at a show near them and they come to check you out, why is Lucy Sky going to steal the show?
I think I'm very different to a lot of women on the scene. I bring the power. I could outpower men, outpower anyone. But as well, I could go like the pace of anyone who's not got the power. So give me anyone you want.